Students, we have learned about fertilization in flowering plants. After fertilization, the ovary is developed into fruit, and ovules inside the ovary, they are developed into seeds. Now today we will learn about the structure of seed. Seed is a fertilized ovule. It means it is the final product of the fertilization. We can say seed is a fertilized ovule which is the final product of sexual reproduction. Now we take the structure of a seed. A seed consists of seed coat and one or two cotyledons and an embryonal axis. Now recall the structure of ovule. You know, outermost covering of ovules are known as integuments. The outer integument is developed into testa. Testa means outer seed coat. This testa is outer seed coat, and the inner integument is developed into tegumen, that is inner seed coat. These seed coats are protective in nature. They form a hard layer and provide protection to the seed. In seed coat there is a small pore, small opening, that is called micropyle. This micropyle facilitates the entry of water and oxygen into the seed during germination. Now hilum. Hilum means junction of the main body of ovule and stalk that remains as a scar on the seed coat. Next part, that is cotyledons. The cotyledons are generally thick and swollen with food materials. It means they contain reserved food materials, and the cotyledons may be one or two. If there is only one cotyledon in a seed, that type of seed is called monocotyledon or monocot seed. If there are two cotyledons, then it is called dicot or dicotyledonous seed. The seed may be albuminous or endospermic, as in case of castor, coconut, rice, wheat, etc., or non-albuminous or non-endospermic, as in pea, bean, mustard, etc. In albuminous or endospermic seeds, the whole of endosperm is not consumed during development of embryo. Sufficient food is also kept stored in it for future development of embryo. And in the ex-albuminous or non-endospermic seeds, the endosperm is consumed during growth of embryo and transfer of food to cotyledon. Examples of non-endospermic seeds are pea, bean, mustard, etc. Occasionally, the seed may have remnant of nucleus that is persistent. It is called perisperm. For example, black pepper, water lily, and beet. Now, third part of the seed is embryonal axis. Embryonal axis has hypocotyle and radicle on its lower end, and epicotyle and plumule on its upper end. You know, after germination, this radicle is developed into root system and the plumule is developed into shoot system. As the seed mature, the water content is reduced and the seed become dry. The embryo may enter a state of inactivity called dormancy. Advantages of seeds. First, advantages to plants. Seeds have better adaptive strategies for dispersal to new habitats for better survival. Number two, seeds have richer food materials to nourish the seedlings during seed germination. Third, the hard seed coat provides protection to the young embryo or baby plant. Fourth, since seeds are formed after sexual reproduction, they show genetic recombination leading to variations. Fifth, since seed formation does not depend on water for fertilization, their formation is more certain and they are units of multiplication and continuity of the species. These are the advantages for plants. You know, seeds are also very useful for human beings. Then it means advantages to mankind. Seeds are stored and used as food throughout the year. Seeds are also used to raise the crop in favorable seasons depending on their viability.